So this is an antiderivative, and today we're going to be solving it by using the reverse power rule. And for this problem, or for any antiderivative, there are rules. So we're going to be using these 4 rule of thumb. So there cannot be any radicals, there can't be any exponents in a fraction, no products of x, and no quotients. So we're going to start by identifying each of these. So a radical, there's one right here, just gonna highlight that. And then no exponents in a fraction, there's one here and there. No products of x, which basically anything multiplying by x, like this distributive property, and no quotient. So now that we found what we have to change, we're gonna start off by breaking them apart and making them easier. So when we use our reverse power rule, it won't be as hard. We're gonna do x squared plus x, and I like to write it like this because it helps me, but we can't leave it like this, so because it still breaks one of the rules. So we will have to write it as x plus 5x. And the reason it's x to the negative 4th is because when you're bringing up the 7, you have to subtract it from 3. But when you bring up the 7, you're it's negative. So when you bring it up, it's going to be negative 7 plus 3, or negative 7 plus 1. And that's how you get negative 6. And 5x plus 8. And now we're going to distribute. So x to the 3rd. And if you think about it, there's a 1 as the exponent right there. So when you're distributing it, you're adding the 1. So that's how you get 3. And then 1 plus negative 6 is negative 5. And here, think of as a 1 right there. And when you do that, you'll get, you turn it into a fraction, so it would be 1 over 5. And then you bring this up, and then 5 is negative. So now that we did that, we're going to use the reverse power rule, which is that is our reverse power rule. And what you do with that is you're going to take the top exponent that you have and add it by 1, or add 1 to it, then go under, and it should be the same. So 2 would be our n, and then we just add 1, and then you do the same thing on the bottom. And we're gonna go through and do that to all of the numbers. So that, and this has an exponent, it's just 1, so And then when we get to 8, we're just going to add an x to the 8 plus. And then you're gonna go add C at the end of it. And now we're gonna go through and simplify it. So I kind of missed one of the 3 x's, so I went back and changed that. So plus, and then you're gonna add the C at the end because that's part of the equation. So now what we're gonna do is add, well, not add, I would simplify it, kind of. We're writing it in a different form of a fraction, so we're doing 1/3 x to the square because there's a 1 in front of the x. So we're gonna do 1/3 plus 1/2 x squared plus 1, or I just changed the sign. -3 minus And this long thing will end up being your answer for the whole entire problem, because you can't simplify it anymore to that. So when you're doing a problem like this, you would just leave it at its simplest form. And that's how you do an antiderivative using the reverse power rule.